Hey everybody, this is Kathy, Crowder's Mountain in North Carolina. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Thank you for joining me for another video. Let me show you what I have. I think you probably already saw it in the thumbnail. But we are going to make this pattern today. See those pretty bumblebees? And also got another one. Now this one is the same pattern, but you see the difference? This one has a border. Now the one with the border is a lot easier to draw out just because of the math. And I'll show you that. But what my goal is, if I can keep the video down till about 30 minutes, I'll do both of them on the same video. But if not, there'll be a part 1 and part 2. You know, I've done that before. Seems like it's worked out. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. Now, this one, I already hooked I've got the hook on the back of it. So you see that hook. Alright, so this one is 7 blocks. It's a 24-inch board, but it's 7 blocks. So you divide 7 into 24, you're going to get like 3.42. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have marked that on my ruler, which you probably can't see. I might try to zoom in on that when I'm editing and see if you can see it. But anyway, it's not quite 3 1/2. So you just come down like 1/8 and mark from the half mark. 3 1/2, come down like 1/8 and you'll have it. And that's what worked out for me. Alright, so what I did, because I didn't want to take this yardstick and try to figure it out on it all the way down. I'm not yardstick, but it's a 24-inch ruler. So I just marked my 12-inch ruler, and I'm just going to make my mark all the way across. Now, this is what I'm doing. In case you're new and you've never done one before. I'm making my blocks. See, that turned out right. I'm making my blocks by making a tick mark at 3.42 all the way across and all the way up and over and down. And then I'm just going to connect those tick marks. Okay, so we've got the tick marks. Now, like I said, all I'm going to do now is just draw my grid, because it's 7 blocks over and 7 blocks up. Okay, so now we have our 7 blocks, and we can start drawing the pattern now. So I'm going to try to draw the pattern in a different color. In case I hadn't said this yet, I'm just drawing this on a 24 by 24 piece of paper so that you guys can see the grid lines and the pattern lines. If I draw it on my board with my heat erasable pens, you can't see it. I've tried that before and you guys just can't see it. But this seems to work out well. All right. So let's start drawing the pattern. Now first we're going to do those bees in the corner. And then we'll draw the rest of the pattern. So these four corners here, the four blocks in the right hand corner, we need to divide in half. So instead of dividing 2 into 3.42 and trying to figure that out, here's what we're going to do. We've got our blocks. We know they're measured right. So we're just going to divide them in half like this. I got tape on the corners here. To make sure we get it straight. I see I just put an X here, right? So now I'm going to come along and put another X, another line, and we're just going to make an X in each one of those individual blocks. And then we have the center. See, we've got the center of that block. So some of these will be guidelines and some of them is going to be your pattern. So I'm going to do that all the way around. That's just an easier way to find the center of each block. And I'm thinking that, I don't know for sure. I hadn't tried it. I know you can find the center of your board by doing this exact same cross. And I wonder if I had a T-square, if it would be easier to measure off 7 blocks. I don't know. I'm going to try to figure that out. Alright, so we've got this one. Let's get these other two. And I think what messed that one up, didn't I? That's going to erase. I sure hope it does. Not very well. Okay, so now we have all 4 of those blocks drawn out. Now, to keep the video a little bit shorter, I'm only going to do 1 bee. Because I feel like you can, if you need to see it again, you can just scroll back to, scroll, I guess that's, or just backwind or whatever you call it. I'm about to age myself. Just do whatever you got to do to go back to it again and watch it over and over if you need to. But anyway, so we've got our 4 blocks. Okay, so now we need to divide each one of these blocks into 4. So now that we know this where the center is, we're just going to lay our ruler across like that and make sure we get right in the center. Now we're just going to go vertical, right straight through the centers. My colored pencils just won't let me draw right into the spot that it needs to be. So I don't know. Folks have said they use colored pencils to draw on their pattern, and I just don't see how they can get some crisp, clear lines that way, but I just don't know. Maybe they sharpen theirs more than I do. But anyway, I've got each one of those 4 blocks divided into 4 now. So that's how you make your bee. So let's find, all right, this is the top right block. We're just going to go down to this one. So it's the 3rd one up and the 3rd one over. And that one is the bee's head. So it will be, the whole entire block will be painted black. And I'm doing this so you can see it better. Okay, now for the rest of the bee, we got to divide some more. So you see the 4th block up, 2nd one over, we have to divide it in half too. And the 4th block over, 2nd one up, needs to be divided. So it's going to go straight across this block. So now, this is part of the bee's wing, the top part. So let me show you. It starts on each side of that black block. And it goes down the side of each one. So just let me color that in. See, well, that didn't work, did it? Let me color that in right quick so you can see. You can see where the top of his wing is. And I'll show you my colors in a minute. Alright, now let's draw the bottom of his wing. You see this 4th one up? The first row, the first block, down at the bottom, we're going from there to, well, we're going straight across. We're going to go top of the 3rd one on the up, and the 1, 2, 3, the right hand bottom of that third one. So top of the left, bottom right. And we're just going to draw us a line. Okay, so now this part, this little triangle right here, is part of the bee, but this part is his wings right here. And let me draw that in. And I used a darker gray for that one. Don't draw it in, I mean color it in so you can see. See that? You know, sometimes I think maybe it would be easier for me just to be painting it at the same time I'm showing you the pattern. Maybe I'll try that, but then I'd have to stop and start a lot, but I could do that. All right, now, see this little part right here, this little triangle? That's part of the bee, and that's going to be the golden color or bright yellow, whatever you decide to paint the bee. All right, now let's finish the bee off. Okay, go on to each side of that little triangle here and go down. You want to go down to the right hand corner of that first block. So we're just drawing a line there. And we're going to draw a line on the top of the first block to the other side of the triangle. See that? Now this part, there's the yellow. Now this is going to be black. So we're going to draw another line across that first block on the left. And that's gold again. So this one's black. That's gold, and this one's black. Wait a minute, I'm going to let you take a snapshot of that too. So if you only needed to know how to do the bee, you're done. But here you go. No, not that one. This one. So you can take a snapshot of that. So here's the bee. There's his head, his wings. There's the bottom of his wing. There's his little body. Black, yellow, black. All right. Now, like I said, I'm not going to draw that again. You don't need me to draw it 4 times when you can just roll it back and watch it. Let's do that pattern now. Let's start by going right here in the middle. And we're going to make our first block. You see that's part of your grid line. That block is. Okay, now most of the time you see me drawing patterns and I'll just go one block at a time, but this one I think it would be easier to show you if I just went from the center out, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we've got our first block. Then just like we found the center of those blocks, we're going to do the same thing, but this is going to be part of our pattern. We're just going to make an X in the block above it, an X in the block beside of it. We want our lines to run together, you know, to even up here, like that. We'll line them up. Alright, see, now this is part of the pattern. Alright. So then we have, let's show you what we just did. You drew this, then with making those X's, you drew these blocks, you found the tip of that block, and you drew the yellow around that middle block. So now, we need to find the center of this block. So you're at the top, skip one and go up and just find the center. With these odd numbers, this is the best way to find it. Alright, so here's this one. We're going to skip one and find the center of that one. Here's this one, skip, and find the center of that one. And skip one and find the center of this one. So it's the middle block all the way around. And you just found this point by doing that. That's that point right there. And I'll show you. Well, crunch. Glad thing we wasn't going to use that. It tried to trick me up, didn't it? Okay. So now we've got our points. So part of our pattern, and I'll go ahead and do these since this is where we're working. You see that center point? And you see that one? We're going to be using that. But here, we need to draw this block. So we've already found our points here, right? And all we have to do is just draw a line from that point to that point. And then this part of the grid is actually part of the pattern. See it? See that? And you'll get one color here and a lighter color here. So you don't have to do yours in purple. But I like purple. I like blue, I like yellow. Alright, so we're going to do that again. This is part of your grid. We're going to the point to point. Alright. Here's the grid. Part of the grid that's part of the flower. And we're drawing point to point. Now we could, see, you could do it either way. Draw that in first, and then draw your sides, or either way. But you've got those points. Now, the rest of it is home free. We're going to draw a line. Let's start over here. We'll do block to block this time. Alright, you got your third block. We're going from the bottom left to the top right. We've already finished that one. And see, this is just the grid lines right here. Just guidelines, I call them. All right, on the 5th block, we're going from the top left to the bottom right. And let's just go ahead and go to the next row, and you're going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to show you something. We drew that one, bottom left, top right. This one, top left, bottom right. Now, let me show you this. If you have been drawing barn quilts for a while, you probably would say go from the right hand bottom right of that first block all the way up here, and you could just draw that whole line. But we're not doing that because I'm just showing you the pattern block by block as good as well as I can anyway. All right, now let's go all the way up to the 3rd row, and we're going to draw from bottom left to the top right, bottom left to the top right again, lining up with that line, and bottom left to the top right again. Do that, and we're going to come over here to the 5th one, and we're just going to go from the top left to the bottom right on all 3 of those. You see how that lined up? All right, now 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 5th one up here. We're going from the top left to the bottom right. Three times. First, second, third. And then we've already got that one. So this one, we're going from bottom left to the top right. We went from top left to bottom right on that one. So we're just going in the opposite direction here. Wait a minute. Make sure I'm telling you right. That's right. Sometimes I get tangled up myself. All right. Now, let's go up to this. We're on row 6. No, row 6. We've already done those 2. That's going to be the B. And here, we're going from the top left to the bottom right. Line that line up. Skip that one and go from the bottom left, top right. And we're all the way up to the top now. And we're going top left, bottom right, and bottom left, top right. Now, we're finished. All you have to do is draw your bees and start painting. Now, let me show you the other one. Or do you want to see the colors first? Let me show you the colors first, because that's the same way on the next one's going to be the same thing. I'll show you these colors in case you want to use them. Alright, for the dark purple, I used Unimaginable Valspar. The lighter color is called Purple Gala, and it's glidden. Now, all these are exterior semi-gloss. It might have a different brand, like this is Glidden Premium, and that's Valspar Season Flex. That's my favorite. Alright, then my green, I use Bold Avocado, and that's Valspar. And for this yellow, it's a Golden Chime. And that's what I use for the bee's body as well. And for the outside yellow here, I used Honey Glaze. And this one's Valspar, and this one's Valspar. That's Season Flex, and that's Duramax, but it wouldn't matter about that. And you may have two other, like, you just do it the way you want to do it. I'm just showing you my colors. A lot of times people ask me. All right, for the brown, I use Natural Bark. And for the bee here, I used Limousine Black, Valspar. For the top of his wing, I used Gravity Gray, which is Valspar. And the bottom is called Wall Street, and that's Valspar. And I had that because that's the color we painted our shutters, and it's exterior semi-gloss. So I snuck what was left and put it in my bottle. All right, and then this blue background here. So let me, hang on a minute. Okay, I had the wrong one out there. I knew that was wrong. This blue, I use Blue Mist, and it's Valspar as well. So there's your colors. If you want to take a screenshot of that. But, you know, like I said, you don't have to use, you can't see that Limousine Black label. There you go. Well done. He rolled away. He's not going to stay up there, is he? Okay. Take your screenshot of that. And take your screenshot of that one. Now, I'm not going to draw the pattern all over again. I don't think we'll need that. But this one has a border. So it's the same pattern, exactly the same, only this is a 1-inch border, 24 inch, right? This is a 1-inch border, and this is a 1/2 inch. So if I take 1.5 from this side and 1.5 from this side, I take 3 inches away from the 24-inch board, leaving me 21 inches. And if you divide 7 into 21, praise the Lord, you get an even number. So you only have to do 7 blocks of 3 inches, which is so much easier. Well, for me it was. So I just did the same thing, see? Now, the person who wants this one wanted a dot in the middle. She just wanted it to, something there. So she chose a black circle. And the other one don't have that in it. But I like that. It kind of brings in the bees a little bit. And she is actually hanging hers. Now, you know, I didn't put any antennas on here because I didn't want to do that. But she is hanging hers on a stand where you see the back of it. And she said from her house, inside her house, she can see the back of the barn quilt. So we painted, or I did, I painted the back of it this blue color. And I didn't put my card or anything, and I just signed it down here. Just real small, because I didn't want it to, I didn't want that to show out too much as she was looking out and seeing it. But see, that's the same color as this blue. Oh, and that blue is North Holland blue. That's the color of that blue. And so she wanted her background white, so we just used ultra white. And that's the only difference. The border is limousine black, just like the bee. And everything else is the same. That's limousine black. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got some benefit out of it. And again, this one's easier to draw out as far as measuring. So it's just according to if you want a border or not. Now, if you're making a 3x3, you just divide your 7 into 36. Or you might want to take 1.5 inches. Let's see, y'all do the math. Whatever comes out. You could put a border on it and it'd come out 7 times 5 is 35. So you would have 5-inch blocks and have a 1/2 inch border on the side if you wanted to. Or you could divide 7 into 36 and divide up that 1 inch. But that'd be the way you do it. It's the same pattern. Oh, did y'all take a screenshot of that? In case you wanted that one. And then this, like I said, this is North Holland blue. It's Valspar. And ultra white. That's Valspar too. Okay. Thank you for joining me. And happy painting. See you all in the next video. Oh, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. They say that helps the algorithm. If you give me a thumbs up and a like, I believe. Or is that the same thing? I don't know.